Welcome back to No Man's Sky, everyone. Jason here, and this is our beginner's guide to No Man's Sky. So if you're a brand new player, or maybe someone who's returning to No Man's Sky after leaving or playing years ago and coming back and wondering what's new and what's all interesting, this series is for you. So in the last episode, we went over a lot of the beginning tutorial things with storms, recharging your hazard protection, moving your technology around, all that kind of stuff. And we fixed our ship. So now that we have it fixed, we can actually leave the planet we're on, the starter planet that we were on. So let's jump in, leave the planet, and do a little bit of investigating in this system to see what we got going on. Well, immediately we have a cool looking planet over there, but let's go up. So, another big thing that I love is that No Man's Sky has a third-person camera and a first-person camera. By default, they give you a first-person perspective in your ship, but you can change that if you'd like. So, if you want to, you press down on your D-pad to get your quick menu. Go all the way over to the left for this little gear icon, the utility icon. And this menu has a whole bunch of stuff in here, but the one we want to go to is our ship picture right here. It says Switch Starship View. So there you are. Now we're in third person. We can move the camera around. It looks really, really good. But, you know, you don't have to do this. You can change it anytime you want. Just go back into that menu. Boom. There you go. If you'd like. So I will say that No Man's Sky was made with first person in mind. So a lot of things work better or best when you're in first person, this view. I personally love the third person camera. So you'll see me most of the time playing like this. But every once in a while, you'll notice that I'll switch from third to first because, you know, the game in general, there's some things that work better in first person. So I take advantage of that. I just flip back and forth. So now that we're in space, you see at the bottom right-hand side, we have our tooltip box. That is always going to be popping up to let you know, like, tips on what to do next and how to, you know, progress in the game. So now it's telling us, hey, look, we need to test out our starship. So we're flying around, test our boost. If you're on Xbox, that would be B. Or if you're on PlayStation, that'd be O. Hit that. So that's our normal boost if you want to fly around. It goes a little bit faster. But if you want to go really fast, we have what's called a pulse drive with our pulse engine. You hold down RB and left, you know, RB and LB, or left bumper, right bumper. If you're on PlayStation, that'd be L1 and R1. Boom. And now we're going super fast. So this is the fast, or almost the fastest that your ship can go in normal flight. We do get a hyperdrive, basically a warp drive later on. Oh, we have a call coming in, so we press down on our D-pad. Now we have our communicator here on our quick menu. Let's get it. Incoming transmission, source 4925B. Please identify yourself. And it cuts off. Well, you know what? We'll identify ourselves. You are not alone. Follow and it cuts out again. The broadcast ends as strangely as it began. The final piece of the signal appears to be a set of planetary coordinates. Well, let's input those coordinates. So now it marked a location for us, and it's not on this planet in front of us. As we roll around here, it's over here on another planet. 3 days over there. So that's the planet we just came from, New Oxfall. But as you roll around, you can see undiscovered planet, and if you press your left thumbstick in, you do a scan, and it'll tell you the general qualities of that planet. It is a caustic planet. You see it has ancient bones, fungal mold, copper, ammonia, and magnetized ferrite. So that will give you the idea of what it is. That is a fungal mold, so it is a toxic planet. And you can do that for every planet. That one's a blue one. It looks like an ice planet. Oh, that's an airless planet, so it has no atmosphere. And an airless planet will generally not have any animals or plants because there's no atmosphere. There's no air to support life. Then we have this one over here. That is a corrosive planet, another toxic planet. So you can kind of see what is on there as well. So if you're looking for silver, right there, it has silver on that planet. We can go down there and get silver if that's what we're looking for. But we're aiming for this marker over here. So the cool thing about the pulse drive is that if you are close to a marker, it will lock onto that. So if I hit it right now, like I'm not aiming at it, right? But if I hit it, it'll automatically move your ship and aim towards any kind of objective marker. So if you have a mission objective that is highlighted, your pulse drive will automatically try to get you there. It knows kind of what you want to do. If there's any kind of marker around, it'll try to get you there, which is kind of nice. Sometimes it's a pain in the butt because if you're trying to, like, if I wanted to fly over there, it would automatically try to force me down in here. So it can be a bit of a pain, but I'd say most of the time, like 70 to 80% of the time, you want to go to that marker because it's going to be a pain in the butt to try to manually go down there. You know, manually try to fly towards that marker. So let's go down here and see what the heck is going on with this signal. So, a cool thing to note is we have something called the target sweeper in No Man's Sky. So the target sweeper is basically something in your visor that will mark the general location of where you need to go. So it'll mark kind of where you need to be, but not always. You know, not exactly where you need to be. So you'll notice it just marked a random location, it feels like, right? You can't see anything around here. There's nothing around here. There's no anything, right? But there's a cool thing in your ship. So if you're in your ship, press left or right on your D-pad, and it brings up your menu here, right? You see we have our, you know, our health of our ship. We have the information at the bottom left, but also look at the bottom left. You see what's called a target. So it won't mark the exact location for you with this red marker. However, if you fly here and you keep pressing left or right, it'll bring up that target, you know, the info panel, your HUD. And it said, look at that, it's getting smaller, 400, 380, 70, 60. So we know it's around here somewhere. And as we fly around, we'll get closer and closer to it. But if we get too far, all of a sudden, we're going farther away. So now we're going back up again. So it's 300, 315, 25, 35, 45. So we're going too far away. So we need to turn around and go back. So you can use that info panel, your HUD, to kind of generally get where you need to go. So we know it's around here somewhere. 180, 170. So let's just land here. We know it's around here, 100 units away, 100 feet distance away. But we still don't know where it is exactly. If you pull up your visor now when you're on the ground, now it's in target sweep mode, and it'll tell you exactly, oh, it's this way. So if we follow it, you see how it's highlighted yellow? But if I'm looking behind me, I have a yellow marker that's on the left side of my screen. So now I know I need to look left. So it's around here somewhere. So it's in this direction. Let's head towards it. And just keep pulling up your visor, and it tells you right down there at the bottom, it says estimated distance on the bottom of your middle piece. It says 125, 121, 20. So we know we're getting closer. Let's get over here. And if we get really close, like if it's in eye shot of it, it'll actually mark it if you hold it up. There we go. So we know this is the location we need to go to. So that's generally how to use your target sweeper. There's more like deep mechanics that we'll get into later on. But in general, whenever you get a mission, it'll mark the general area, and you can kind of narrow it down in your ship. But once you land, all you have to do is pull up your visor, and it will go into sweep mode. By default, it's in analysis mode, where you can scan all the plants and animals like we did in the first episode. Get a little bit of money, get some good stuff going on here. So yeah, we can do all that. But if it's in sweep mode, target sweep mode, it'll mark the location of wherever your next objective is. Oh, we have to... after this broken technology. The sparking wires of the machine generate a signal, tapping out its broadcast into the void. Whoever left the message here is long gone. Well, let's decipher the signal. Decoding. 16, 16, 16. Entry 4925C. No fuel in... It cuts out. Failed to reach station. Hazard protection is low. No choice but to... Something cuts out. Underground cuts out. Deployed base computer. As well as a log entry, the signal contains plans for a base computer and a terrain manipulator. With any luck, the base computer will hold more information about whoever is leaving these messages. Well, let's extract those plans. So now we're learning new blueprints. We have a base computer blueprint that we just learned. We need chromatic metal for that. And we also learned how to make a terrain manipulator. This is going to be an important upgrade for your multi-tool. This is going to allow us to farm resources from the ground, like rare resources like metals and things like that. And if you need to dig underground to get items that are hidden underground, you need to use this as well. So first things first, we need to install that because we need the terrain manipulator in order to get the materials needed for chromatic metal. Let's go into our menu in our multi-tool. You see it highlights a box for you because it says, hey, look, you need to build it in here. So terrain manipulator, we need carbon nanotubes and dihydrogen jelly. We don't have any of those things, so let's back out. Go over to our exosuit menu. And we need to make, again, nanotubes. We need to make 1. And dihydrogen jelly, 1. And we look at it again. Oh, actually, no, we need 2 carbon nanotubes. So let's go back and make another carbon nanotube. There we go. Done and done. Easy peasy. So we made those. We know how to build those pieces. Let's install it. 2 nanotubes. 1 dihydrogen. And now we're golden. Now we have a terrain manipulator. So this allows you to dig into the ground. So you couldn't do this with your laser. If you have your laser out, you just fire into the ground and that's it. So if you want to switch between the modes on your multi-tool, remember, hit Y if you're on Xbox or use triangle if you're on a PlayStation and it'll switch between your different modes. Now that we have 2 different tools on our multi-tool. So go into terrain manipulator mode. And there's a lot of cool features on the terrain manipulator. So by default, when you switch to it, you go to a medium size terrain manipulator, but there are reasons to go higher or lower. So by default, we're in the middle, but if I press left bumper or L1, it'll go smaller. If I press right bumper or R1, it'll actually go bigger. You see that? It gets larger, smaller. So there are 2 different, there's 3 different sizes for a reason. The first one being, the smaller the size, the more fuel it will use to dig a hole. But you'll notice this hole is very, very tiny. You really can't do anything with this. This is like a fine-tuned one. Whereas if you go, if you press right bumper or R1, it goes larger. It uses less fuel, but it makes a gigantic hole in the ground. So when you're trying to go after resources, like you're trying to collect metals, you want to use the smaller one because it gives you more resources per square inch. It'll give you way more resources per square inch of what you're destroying. However, it's going to use more fuel. But if you're trying to just clean up or, make a base or dig up a special item, like for instance, we have a buried technology thing right here. If I use a small one, it's going to take me forever to get down in that hole. And I won't even be able to fit through this hole. So you want to use the large one to uncover big old areas. There you go. Look at that. Boom. Easy peasy. And now we can get this technology module. So there's going to be a lot of random items that are buried underground. And if you just want to uncover them, use the larger size. But if you want to get materials, use the smaller size. And let's go talk about that because we have some copper we need. We need to get copper to make our chromatic metal. So If you pull up our visor, you'll notice there's a whole bunch of icons on the screen now. And this little diamond icon, it'll tell you that's copper. This one over here is salt deposit. Copper deposit, salt deposit. There's a phosphorus deposit over there. There's a yellow one that's a natural burial site for bones. So there's a whole bunch of stuff we can dig up now that we have our terrain manipulator. But what we need is our copper. Let's find one that's really close. 700. Could have sworn I saw one closer. 400 right there. Boom. 400. So I just locked in on that. So now it's locked in on that. On the screen. So what I did there was, if you see something you like for instance, if I really want to go after this, the bones off in the distance. If you hold down X if you're on Xbox or square if you're on PlayStation, it will tag it. Anything that's tagged will stay on your screen even if you get out of your visor. That way you don't have to keep holding up your visor all the time to see it. So now it'll stay there forever unless I mark something else. Or if I get there, it'll go away. So if we go back over here to the copper deposit, we'll tag that so it locks it in. And once we reach that location, it'll go away. Or if we mark another location, it will disappear. It'll remove this one and mark the new one. Oh, my life support's low. So, just like in the first episode, remember, you have two different ways to recharge stuff. You can go into your menu, go into your inventory menu, and you can just highlight it and use it if you want to. Or, press down on your D-pad, use the recharge equipment, the battery icon, and select whatever one you want. So, support, life support. We need to put some oxygen in there. And we're good. We need to do the same thing for our hazard protection. We're going to use one of the batteries we made in the first episode. Now let's keep going. So we need to collect some copper in order to make our chromatic metal. It's an ingredient we need. Let's get over here. Now again, keep in mind, this is a resource that we need to get out of the ground. You don't want to use your large terrain manipulator. So when you get over here, just hit the left bumper, hit the left L1 while you have your terrain manipulator out. And make sure you're on the small setting because it'll give you a ton. Look at it. It's just barely breaking through this copper, but I'm getting a whole bunch of it through there. It's going to take you a while, but you're going to get a lot of resources by doing this. Look at that. This is doing this for days if we wanted to. However, if you don't care how many resources you get, go to the largest one. Like, look at that. We did all that. We got 75 for this little chunk we just did, right? 75. But if I go to the largest one, I just hit it once for half a second. About the same area, we went up by 8. Like, look at that. We did this with our large one, this with our small one. We got a whole bunch more resources with the smaller one because it's giving you more per square inch. That's why you want to use the small one. Look at that. Boom. Just do this all day. Now, by default, it's in the middle, so it'll be in the medium-sized one, and I think that is a good middle ground. So it's not gonna give you little resources. It'll give you a medium amount of it. But, you know, you're not going to get the best. You're not going to get the most resources out of it. So it just depends on what you're looking for. For me, I'm not too picky. So I usually use the default, which is the medium sized. Because it gives you just enough. I mean, in general. Every once in a while, if you're really like, look, I need to get every square inch of this copper and I want 1,000,000 copper, then you want to use a small one. You want to get the most out of it. But for me, there's so many resources around. So it doesn't bother me to use the medium or even the large size sometimes if I accidentally switch over to the large size and go, oh, crap. So not a big deal because, again, you can look around and see phosphorus right there. There's more copper right over there. There's phosphorus right there. Phosphorus. There's just a whole bunch of it. Phosphorus. Salt. So there's multiple. It's not like copper is really rare. None of these materials is really rare. It's just how long do you want to look for it? You know, do you want to do some walking? You want to spend the next 15 minutes on it? Or do you want to spend like 5 minutes and just use the medium size? Whatever you want to do. It's up to you. Grab all this. So I would recommend getting more than what they are telling you to. So they will tell you just to get 60 copper. Because that's all you need to make your base computer. However, you're going to need copper and chromatic metal for other things as well. So while you're here, get as much as you can. It's always beneficial to have way more than you need. Up, weapon charge depleted, so let's recharge it using our quick menu. And you'll notice, oh, this is a good one too. So every technology that needs to be recharged will use different materials. Like for instance, our terrain manipulator. It uses ferrite dust, or you can use ferrite or pure ferrite or silicate powder. But you'll notice there's different numbers here. So look at that. You need different amounts for different materials. So you'll notice I need 160 for my silicate powder. I need 160 for my ferrite dust, but I only need 80 of it for my pure ferrite. So as your materials get more and more condensed, they will actually use less and less. Another example of this would be your mining beam. Look at that. Carbon, I need 15 for condensed carbon. 62, I think. Yeah, 62. That's probably not right. Okay, give me a second here. This game is acting up. Let's do it this way. We're going to refine our carbon. That way we have equal amounts. There we go. We get our condensed carbon. Now let's see what's going on here. Why are you acting crazy? There you go. There you go. So, you need about half. So, between carbon and condensed carbon, you'll notice the numbers change. You need different amounts for different materials. The more refined a material is, the less of it you need. So carbon to condensed carbon, that's half. So it takes 2 regular carbon to make 1 condensed carbon, right? But it takes 62 carbon to fill up my mining beam. It only takes 21 condensed carbon. So we need less of it. So it's way more beneficial to use your more condensed materials to refill your technology. So again, you could use pure ferrite or ferrite dust. Or sometimes you're like, hey, look, it was way better to use, like, it's less to use my pure ferrite. However, I don't have very much of that, so it's not going to benefit me. I have a whole bunch of silicate powder, so it's not going to be a problem, so I might as well just do this. Sometimes you have more of the basic material, and so you don't want to worry about, I only have a little bit of the condensed material, so I don't want to use up my condensed material. Like for instance, using my hazard or my laser. Where's my laser at? Oh yeah, you can't do that unless you have it highlighted. I don't have very much condensed carbon. It's going to take less condensed carbon, but I don't have very much of it anyway. So I want to save all of that, so I'm going to use my regular carbon to do it. Just because it's more of a pain in the butt. However, once you get deeper in the game and you have hundreds, if not thousands of materials, then you're definitely going to want to use the more condensed version of that material. Whatever that happens to be, that fuel. But right now we're in the beginning of the game. We don't have very much materials to begin with. But yeah, keep in mind though, you can carry thousands and thousands of materials in your backpack. Like, I think it caps out at 9,999 for a carbon stack. But you can have multiple stacks as well. All right, we've got our copper. We put down our refiner. Again, remember, you have to go into your build menu, press up on your D-pad, pick up your portable refiner, or pick your portable refiner and place it on the ground. That way we can refine our copper. If you take the copper out and put it in there, it will turn into chromatic metal. That's what we're looking for. However, remember, it is going to be 2 to 1. So this little tiny number right here is what the conversion rate is. 2 copper make 1 chromatic metal. So keep that in mind. It's going to take different resources. Sometimes it's 1 to 1, like for ferrite dust, like in the first episode. 1 ferrite dust turns into 1 pure ferrite. Sometimes it'll be 1 to 4. So, so it just depends on the type of material you're refining. Sometimes you'll get really lucky and it'll be like 2 to 4 or 2 to 5 or 2 to 1 or whatever it is. So, or 1 to 2. So you'll get more of it if you refine it. Let's look around here. We need some materials. So while that thing is cooking, because remember, you can always look at the time. Oh, God. You don't get the time on your refiner. So over here it says 1 minute 43 seconds. So it'll take over a minute and a half for that to refine down completely. So while that's cooking, you don't have to sit there and look at it the whole time. You go around and collect your materials. Oh, like this right here. You want to look for these buried technology modules. These are very, very easy to find. They're all over every single planet. If you just look around, you'll find a whole bunch of them buried underground randomly. So unbury it, and when you pick it up, you're going to get what's called the salvage data. So I just picked up salvage data. Look at that price, the total value. 208,000 for 4 of them. They're 52,000 units each. That is a very, very valuable item that you can sell and make a ton of money early in the game. So if you're looking for a way to get money early, a lot of money early in No Man's Sky, this is the easiest and fastest way early in the game to do that. So just look around for buried technology modules. They're going to be all over the place. So we're just going to run over here. We look around or anything cool, anything exciting, anything important. Nope. Oh, there's an animal over there. Let's scan that animal. We got our 1,600 bucks for that. Yes. Nope, I'm getting some damage. Remember, yeah, that jetpack jump we learned in the first episode. It will cause damage. You'll notice I take a lot of damage. And it's right next to a damaged machinery. So let's open this up. Maybe we'll get some good stuff out of there. Let's trash the junk that's in there. And we're good. And we got nanites, dang it. And then let's crack this open. So a good rule of thumb, a good thing to keep in mind is if you see one of these damaged machineries, you're almost always, I'd say 90% of the time, you will see a buried technology nearby. All you have to do is find that that smoking damaged machinery. So as long as you're running around looking for that, if you see some smoke, you're like, oh, okay, there's damaged machinery over here. That means there's also buried technology. Good way to find it is to do that. So again, we have a smoking guy here. So if we look around, that damaged machinery right here. Oh, and it's sticking outside because of the procedural generation. Sometimes it doesn't line up. It's supposed to be buried underground, but every once in a while you'll find one outside of the ground. That's fine. But yeah, it's always nearby these damaged machineries. So always grab that. Lots and lots of money. Got more nanites? Dang it. All right, let's head back to our ship. Because I believe that is where our refiner is, nearby this. Yep, debris over here. Let's go find our refiner that was cooking. Refiner, where'd you go? Don't know where my refiner went. Uh-oh. because I'm smart. I wasn't paying attention where I put it. Let's see. Up right there. Green. Portable refiner. So there's a lot of icons. Oh, thank God. Now, if you get close enough, your refiner will pop in. So you'll see the indicator for it. Don't lose it like me. In general, I try to keep it next to my ship because then I know exactly where it is. It's next to my ship. However, I was not paying attention and I almost lost it on that one. Dang it. So it is red. Uh-oh, what happened? It ran out of fuel, but it refined all of our stuff, so we're good. So let's take all that out. And we'll pick up our refiner. So now we are good. We need to make our base computer. So let's find a good flat area, because I don't want to build up in a weird, like, hilly area. That would be a pain. You know what? Let's just land over here. Let's just go over here where the debris was, where the machine was, where our mission objective was. Get up here. Man, we need some upgrades. So in order to make a base computer, you need to go into your build menu. Select your base computer, and remember, it's going to take chromatic metal. We made a whole bunch earlier, so we should be okay. And then plop it down wherever you'd like. And so it will lock into an area, and you need to interact with it because you need to basically claim the land around it. Searching cartographic archives. So it's basically going to check with the No Man's Sky servers to see if anyone else has a base here. Only one person can have a base in one area. Universal Archive search reveals no prior claims on this site. Sonar test confirms site is suitable for construction. Claim it? Yes. So now it is basically claiming this site for me. So if you try to build here, you won't be able to do it because my base is here, not yours. So it tries to alleviate people from building on top of each other. Let's activate the base computer. Accessing log from previous user. Entry 4925D follows. Storm sweeping across. Cut out. But construction supplies low. Depositing shelter plans while something. Need to back soon. It's all just cutting out. Extract plans. So we're going to extract our base building plans. So now we know how to build our basic base. We've learned how to do all of the basic building blocks. So now our mission is to make a basic base. It doesn't need to be extravagant. You just need to put down something. So let's put down a floor. Again, go up on your D-pad to pull up the build menu. Timber floor plans. And you can do this anywhere you want. But there's a secret here. If you click in your left thumbstick, you go into a build camera. So your character will stand still, and you can build anywhere you want within the area of your character. So they won't let you go out too far. Notice how it locked me in? So I'm in this buildable area. If I move my character, I'll be able to move farther away, but they don't let you get too far away. The camera can't go too far away from your character. So this I really like this build camera simply because it lets you really move and place items where you want them to be. So let's pop this down. So now we have one little square, but I don't like making one square. I like making a 4x4, or I guess 2x2. So now we've done that. Let's press B to go back, or O if you're on PlayStation. And now we need to make some walls. So let's do that. Uh-oh, we don't have enough carbon. Uh-oh. We need to get more carbon. That way we can build. Because it's going to take materials to build all this stuff. So let's grab some more materials because we have a storm coming in. And if we can build a shelter, we'll be protected from the storm. Let's grab all this stuff. Oh, yeah. Give me all my building blocks. All right, let's go back into our build menu. Uh-oh, yeah, we're feeling it now. We're feeling it. So I have snapping on, so you'll notice it snaps into locations. So it tries to help you out, like, oh, okay, it seems to make sense to do this. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Then let's make some roofs to go on that. So now we have a house, or a little Bob box right here. So yeah, notice how I go inside and now I'm protected from the elements. I don't have to have a door or anything. As long as you have a roof over your head, you are protected. So keep that in mind. And the better part is, if you don't want to have your computer out here because you have to interact with it, go back into your build menu. And instead of picking a piece right here, press X if you're on Xbox or square if you're on PlayStation. Now we're in edit mode. So now we can get rid of pieces. We can move pieces around. And so pick up your computer right here by pressing your right trigger or, yeah, right trigger on both because PlayStation has a right trigger as well. And now we picked up our base computer right here. And if we press right trigger again, we put it down. So now we've moved it. Look at that. That's so good. That way you don't have to worry about your base computer being stuck outside forever. You can just pop it right back into your base computer or your base and you're done. So yeah, look at that. Boom. Easy peasy. Let's interact again. Accessing log from previous user. Additional archives recovered. Entry 4925E follows. Construction largely a success. Recovered salvage data from nearby. Plans logged. Scans indicate additional subterranean devices. Beginning search. Let's extract those plans. Whoever recorded these logs evidently had some success. I have access to their plans, and perhaps I can learn from their efforts. So now we've learned how to make a construction research unit. We're going to need these items: magnetized ferrite and carbon nanotubes. So we need to make that. So let's go back into our build menu by pressing up. And we have our construction research unit. But we don't have the magnetized ferrite. We don't have the nanotubes. We need to make those. We have a nanotube here, but we don't have any magnetized ferrite. So what you can do is put down your refiner, back in your build menu, refiner, put it down. And now if we access this, we need to fuel it up. And then we need to put in pure ferrite into your input. And it takes 2 pure ferrite to make 1 magnetized ferrite. So we have that. But we're going to need more than that. So let's put that away for real fast. We need more pure ferrite. So in order to make more of that, we need to put in our ferrite dust. If we refine that, it will turn into pure ferrite. And then we can take our pure ferrite out of here and put it into the input and turn it into magnetized ferrite. So there's a lot of cooking and refining going on, but essentially this is what we have to do in order to get some more advanced materials. Again, later on, we're going to be able to buy it from the space station once we get money and we get to more advanced stuff. But for now, we have to make it ourselves. Let's put our pure ferrite into the input. And now that'll turn pure ferrite into magnetized ferrite. And again, it's going to do 2 to 1. So basically cut whatever amount you put in for pure ferrite in half. And that is how much you're going to get. You can also just look over here and it says 92. So we're going to get 92 magnetized ferrite. And done. Let's pull this out. So now we have all of our materials to make our construction unit. So let's do that. And you'll notice I'm weird. I like to put mine catty corner. I like to put it in the corners of my base. We have another storm coming. Thank you. It's a really bad planet to build on, I guess. Let's activate this. Analysis unit online. Diagnostic suggestion. User should recover salvage data from buried technology. Equip and utilize the analysis visor. So that is what they're trying to say is, hey, go look for buried technology. So we pull up our visor, you can look around, and you'll see it almost looks like a Wi-Fi signal thing. It's a little like diamond with a little Wi-Fi signal on it. That is buried technology. That's what you're looking for. You can get it to make money because you can sell it for money later on. Or if you come over here to the construction research unit, you can use buried technology in order to unlock base building parts. So let's research buildable technology. And so now we have our building tree here. And you'll notice the top one, you have to do the top first before you get down below. It takes 2 salvage data to unlock the base teleport module. We have 8. You'll see what we have up here in the top left-hand side. That's how many we have. So I have 8. Let's unlock that. So now we've learned the blueprint to make a base teleporter. But we're going to need more than that. So you can go down here to your biofuel reactor. Unlock that. It's going to take you 1. There we go. We learned the biofuel reactor. And then, I don't know why they do this, but they do. You need electrical wiring to connect your wires or your reactor, which is like your power source, to anything that needs power, like your base teleporter. You need a wire, and so they give it to you. It's in the tree, but it's free. It's 0. So I don't know why they just don't include it, but it's in the tree, so we might as well grab it. Now we know how to make wiring. And there you go. That's all you need for now. That's all you need for now. So now we need to build our teleporter. So now we're starting to get more and more menus in our build menu, more sub tabs in our menu, in our build menu. So now if we go over here, this is all our build pieces for our base, like our walls and ceilings and roofs. Then we also go over here. These are our technologies. So we have a base teleporter and we also have a flora containment. So basically we can grow a flower if we wanted to. So for the base teleporter, we're going to need metal plating, carbon nanotubes, and sodium. So let's do 4 metal plating, carbon nanotubes, 2 carbon nanotubes, and we have the sodium we need. So let's make a metal plating. Oh, we don't have enough ferrite dust. Let's go get some ferrite dust while we're outside. Recharge our life support. We need some rocks. Do we have any rocks around here? There we go, right here. Get some ferrite dust. We need ferrite dust to make our metal plating. And remember, the larger the rock, the more you're going to get, but it takes a little bit longer to break them. That's why you're going to need more materials for it. If you want to, just break up the little tiny rocks and you'll get a good amount anyway. Oh, there's no little rocks around here anyway. Dang it. I guess medium and big size rocks is what we're going to go for. There we go. Oh, now we've noticed the sentinels. They finally noticed us. So the sentinels are guardians of the planets. They do not like you disturbing or breaking anything on the planets. If you do, they will come after you. So keep that in mind. He's starting to freak out. He's like, hey, what are you doing? Nothing, nothing, nothing. If they catch you doing this, they will try to stop you. So now they're going to attack me because I'm destroying the planet. So you can fight them if you want to, but we don't have a weapon yet. So instead, I'm going to run away. I'm going to go hide inside my base. So the sentinels will not follow you into buildings, even your own. So if I go in my building, they'll deactivate because they can't come after me. They will not follow you inside buildings, so buildings are your friend when it comes to sentinels. All right. Let's make some metal plating. We need 4 of them, remember. So 1, 2, 3, 4. But now we need to make some nanotubes. So we need more carbon. Let's get some more carbon because we used all of our carbon making or building our base. Let's grab these. Boom, boom, boom. Don't let your multi-tool overheat. Just slowly throttle that thing a little bit. And boom, boom, boom. That should be enough. So let's make a nanotube. Now, can we build our teleporter? We need one more nanotube. Let's do that. Put our teleporter down. And we built our teleporter, however, it has no power, so it's insufficient power. We need to make a generator for this. That is why we unlocked the biofuel reactor. So let's go to our power and industry tab. We need another metal plating for our biofuel reactor. Let's build one more metal plating. Oh my god, we ran out of materials again, yet again. Another reason why you want to just kind of chill out and maybe spend some time like in the first planet where you're just running around, just collect resources, because you're going to need a lot of them, as you can see. And then Sentinels are still mad at me. Oh, don't shoot him. Oh my god, you ran into my laser. That's your fault, not mine. What the heck? What was that? He ran into my laser and then I get in trouble? What the crap? All right, well, let's run away. We have enough to make a metal plating, so we're good. So let's build our biofuel reactor. Put it down. But it's not working because it needs fuel to run. So if you put in carbon, it'll run it. And so now it's running. But the downside of the biofuel reactor is it constantly needs fuel and it's constantly running. So look, it's not powering anything. It's not doing anything, but it's running. So that is the one downside of it. But it should run to here. So you saw I connected it. Once I select the electrical wiring in our build menu, it'll highlight green circles around where the power connectors are on any item. So if we connect the power connector from the generator over to the teleporter, now it's powered. And you don't have to worry about tripping or being blocked by these power lines. They're just kind of visually there. Later on, we'll get an upgrade to make our wires disappear. But for now, you got to deal with it just sitting out in the middle of nowhere. All right, we have a teleporter powered up by our biofuel reactor. It's going to be running for the next 50 hours. So, and that's real life time, by the way. So this is not in-game time. You'll notice the timer is actually counting down in real time. If I leave the game, like if I turn the game off right now and then I come back 40 hours from now, it will only have 9 hours left. That is based off of your console time or your PC time. It is not based off of in-game time or how long you've been playing or anything like that. This is real life time. So you got about a little over 2 days before you have to recharge that again. So our next mission, and again, if you go into your pause menu, have our mission highlighted. It says explore the planet and expand your base. I need to rename my base. Where's my base computer at? So if you go back to your base computer, you can rename your base. You can do some cool stuff with it. So I can rename it. So let's do this. We're going to name it Jason Base 1 2025. So that way I know. There you go. That's our first base. And if we want to, we can capture a new screenshot. We go into a photo mode. And so if we want to, we can just come in here. Move this camera around a bit. Take a picture of me. So there's my new picture. So anytime I look at this base, it'll show me this picture right here. That's pretty awesome. And then we can upload the base as well. So once you upload it, remember, once you upload it, it goes to the No Man's Sky servers and everyone can see it if they have their multiplayer turned on. So you should be aware that if you upload it, people are going to see your base and know where your base is. If you don't care, like you don't want anyone to know about it, or it's not a base that you want to share, do not upload your base. Once you upload it, everyone can see it, so keep that in mind. So now mine's uploaded, so everyone can see this base now. So we're good. So now our missions are going through. I was moving a little bit ahead of schedule. So now it's telling me I need to make power for the base. We've already did that. Now it's saying, hey, look, you need to make a teleporter for your base. We already did that. So now the base computer logs are updated. Accessing log from previous user. Additional archives recovered. Entry 4925F follows. Scanner detected unusual broadcast, repeating 16 from the space station. Warning, end of archive. Recordings interrupted. The base computer archives have reached their end. It seems there is nothing more I will learn from them. My predecessor appears to have left their base and headed to the space station. Well, that looks like that's what we're going to go next. So it is time to go to the space station. My ship is way over there. So if you wander off, like if you're walking around and you don't want to go back to your ship, if you go to down to your quick menu, press down on your D-pad, go to this like little cone icon right here. It says summon vehicles. If you select that, I can pull my ship in wherever I am. It's going to cost you some fuel, so keep that in mind. You need fuel in your ship to do this, but you can just call it in wherever you're at. So it's really, really nice when you like land and then you run off somewhere. Instead of walking all the way back, like if you go for 20 minutes in one direction and you look back and you're like, oh, I don't want to walk all the way back for 20 minutes. You can just call in your ship, which is really, really nice. And then boom, you're good to go. So we built our beginner's base, our starter base. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you did, hit that like button. And in the next episode, we are going to go to the space station and we're going to explore that one. So I will see you guys then.